Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers federal jurisdiction, the ATF, and warrantless seizures, and comes to us from Buckeye Auditing and Transparency's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Before we dive into the interaction, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of this episode, Surfshark. Surfshark is a premier VPN service that offers unparalleled digital security for a fraction of the price of other competitors. We all know that Surfshark is one of the most secure VPN tunnels on the market, but a Surfshark subscription also allows its users to bypass region restrictions on popular platforms like YouTube and Netflix and view content that is not normally available in your country. Thanks to Surfshark, I can still catch my favorite episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, even though it was removed from the US Netflix catalog. A Surfshark subscription is totally unlimited, which means that you can use it on as many devices as you like, and even on all of them at once. No other VPN service offers that much accessibility. Right now, Surfshark is offering the ATA community an 83% discount with an additional 3 months completely free. With 24-hour customer service and a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have absolutely nothing to lose. So click the link in the description to claim your exclusive offer now. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this episode. On July 7th, 2020, ATF agent James Burke went to a home in Columbus, Ohio to retrieve a weapon from an individual who was not permitted to have a firearm. Agent Burke knocked on the door, but the individual inside the home refused to open it and called 911 instead. Despite the fact that the caller read the dispatcher Agent Burke's badge number, officers Joseph Fahey and Kevin Winchell of the Columbus Division of Police were dispatched to investigate the situation as an attempted break-in.
Hey, turn around, let me see your hands. Turn around, let me see your hands. Okay, let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground!
What's your deal?
Get on the ground now!
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
Get on the ground. I'm a federal agent.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
You didn't ask for it.
He is at 33590
Get on the ground. We'll figure it out.
Drive on that 10-8.
Not getting on the ground.
Well, then stay where you're at.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Fine. Why do you got to make this harder than it is?
Listen, I'm not getting on.
I have no problem making this.
I just want to see if anybody from 3 Precinct can respond as well.
You're the one overreacting.
I'm not overreacting. We got a call that someone's impersonating a police officer out here who doesn't have ID.
No kidding, because she doesn't want to open it.
Okay, get on the ground so I can find out who you are.
It ain't happening.
Okay, fine.
It's not happening.
Fine.
Although Agent Burke repeatedly states that he is a federal agent, Officer Fahey continues to order him to get on the ground. While the interplay between the jurisdiction and authority of federal and local law enforcement agencies is complicated, in general, local law enforcement has the authority to issue lawful orders to federal agents when necessary to complete their duties. In the U.S., the authority of state, county, and local police departments is established by what is known as territorial jurisdiction. This means that, in most situations, a local police officer only has the authority to enforce criminal laws within their own city. But as long as they are within their jurisdiction, they can enforce every type of criminal law. For example, Section 737.11 of the Ohio Revised Code, which would apply to Officer Fahey, states that municipal police officers have the authority to enforce all municipal ordinances, as well as, quote, all criminal laws of the state and the United States. Federal law enforcement agencies, on the other hand, have jurisdiction throughout the United States, but they typically do not have a general grant of authority to enforce all laws. Rather, federal law enforcement agencies are granted authority by Congress through the United States Code, and most are limited to investigating matters that are within federal jurisdiction. While states have a general police power to pass laws for the welfare of their people, the federal government can only create laws regarding certain subjects that are listed in the Constitution, such as regulating interstate commerce and providing for the punishment of counterfeiting money. These powers are often referred to as the enumerated powers of the federal government. Therefore, both Agent Burke and Officer Fahey were operating within their jurisdiction throughout this incident. But without more information about the underlying situation, it is unclear whether a court would conclude that Officer Fahey's commands constituted lawful orders.
Do you think I'm a police officer or something? What the heck's the matter with you? Who do you think you are?
Chopper
Get on the ground!
I'm not getting on the
Chopper,
ground.
thanks.
I'm not getting
91.7, I'm pulling up.
I got my ID.
Do not reach for your waist! Keep your hands up!
Dude, why would I have an O-leg?
Get your hands up! Sir!
Get on you, face down, on the ground, face down now! Face down!
You are the one making the mistake!
Settle down, face down now, all the way down, all the way.
Once Officer Winchell arrives on the scene, Agent Burke decides to comply with the commands of the officers and gets on the ground. While attempting to place Agent Burke into handcuffs, Officer Fahey deploys his taser, and after being stunned, Agent Burke surrenders to the officers.
Sir, I'm just trying to do my job.
Just get in the car! Why would you make us do this?
I didn't want you to. I wanted that. Wait.
No, you knew what you were doing.
Sir, calm down.
Relax.
Sir, hey, guys, please, just talk to me for 1 second, please.
Get in the car,
No,
we'll
wait.
talk later.
Sir, wait.
You had your chance.
No, I was trying to give you my creds. You didn't let me show them to
never
you.
once tried.
I did.
Get in the car.
Wait.
Now!
Have a seat. Please, wait, I gotta breathe.
Okay,
Please,
you
sir,
can,
let
you
me
can
breathe.
sit down and breathe.
Let me breathe. I have a medical condition.
We're gonna get air to you. Get
No,
your legs
no.
in. Get your
Sir.
legs in. We're closing this door.
Sir,
Get your legs in.
I need air.
Sir,
Sir, please, call an ambulance. I'm asking for an
We
ambulance.
got a medic coming. Get in the car.
Sir, I don't need the medic. The taser didn't bother
You
me.
just said call an ambulance. We don't
I-
need
I-
a
Yeah, now you don't want one. Get in the
All the way
car.
in the car. Get all
Sir,
the way
I
in.
can't
I'll go
breathe.
around.
Wait, sir.
Yeah, if you got Dublin cars close, keep them.
The officers attempt to place Agent Burke into their patrol vehicle, but he verbally and physically resists, prompting the officers to force him into the back of the cruiser.
Please, sir.
If you are a real police officer, you ought to be ashamed of
I
yourself.
was trying to give you my creds.
We got him in the car.
Copy, Dublin, that's scene.
He might even be a real cop, but he wouldn't tell us,
everything
wouldn't
looks fine
do
here.
anything, wouldn't get on the ground. I mean, what the
The guy
heck?
in the cruiser will go ahead and clear.
You bet.
I don't believe they're looking for anybody else.
We had to taser him, so we got a medic coming.
Yeah, we canceled our units and now we heard you guys marked up again.
Well, that's what we thought, but then he wouldn't get in the car.
Trying to get in on his house.
If he is an actual police officer, he ought to be ashamed of himself.
I'm not. I'm trying to
You're not. You're right. You're not.
give my creds.
Yeah. No, you screwed up, you bet. First thing he should have had his badges out when I got here. Wouldn't get on the ground, wouldn't comply with anything. Whenever the sergeant gets here, we'll call his supervisor.
I'm not letting him handle. I'm not
Yep,
talking
at this point. Dude, you saw how he was. He wouldn't comply. No, you never, no. It's all on video.
Don't even argue with him. Just let him yell.
Yeah, we had to use the taser, just a drive stun.
Okay.
But he's got a medic. He says he's got some condition. He may even really be a police officer. He's got a badge, but he wouldn't do anything, wouldn't get on the ground. I told him over and over to get on the ground. He wouldn't comply with anything. We had to tase him. He
right.
fought with us the whole time. Wouldn't get in the car. If he is a real police officer.
Or anything?
No, we're not.
Okay. Okay.
No, I do got him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So his supervisor is going to need to come to scene. After the way he acted, it's all on video.
ID is. He's got a good looking badge. He's got a good looking badge.
He very well may be. But you know what? When a Columbus police officer, yeah.
Buddy, you're good. Don't worry about it.
I know.
I get it.
He said over and over, I'm not getting on the ground. I will not. I'm like, okay.
That's not how this works.
I said, you obviously don't know what's going on then. If he's here to work a warrant by himself, there's something strange about that too.
Something about the guy info. Her wife, her husband bought a shotgun or something. He was here to follow up on some shotgun purchase.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's an NFTA or CP, I don't know.
Who knows?
Here, the Columbus officers remark that Agent Burke was allegedly at the location to follow up on the purchase of a shotgun, which is a common task for an ATF agent. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, known as the ATF for short, is a law enforcement agency within the Department of Justice that, according to Section 599A of Title 28 of the U.S. Code, is responsible for investigating, quote, criminal and regulatory violations of the federal firearms, explosives, arson, alcohol, and tobacco smuggling laws. Under Section 3051 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code, ATF agents have the authority to, quote, make seizures of property subject to forfeiture to the United States, which, according to Section 924 of Title 18 of the U.S. Code, includes illegally possessed firearms. In fact, as the Wall Street Journal reported in 2019, ATF agents are regularly involved in retrieving weapons from individuals who were sold firearms when they should have not been permitted to purchase one due to their background check. These delayed denials occur when, because of backlogs in the federal background check system, individuals are sold firearms before their background check is completed, as the sale is legally permitted to proceed after 3 business days, even if the check is not finished. If the FBI, which performs the background checks, determines that an individual should not have been sold a firearm once the check is completed, the delayed denial is referred to the ATF to track down and seize the weapon. In 2017 alone, the ATF was responsible for handling about 6,000 of these seizures, and a delayed denial is only one of the reasons that an ATF agent can confiscate weapons. While it is uncertain whether Agent Burke was pursuing a delayed denial or was following up on another firearm issue, it is clear that Agent Burke was performing a routine duty in his role as an ATF special agent.
Are you guys the ones that originally called?
Yes.
Okay. What did he say to you when he was talking to you?
I have to open the door because he's a police. I tell him I can't open the door because my husband.
For officers on edge, bro, we were finally able to
And,
get
he
the
say you have to open the door. I tell him I'm sorry, I can't. Stay with my kids. My kids start crying because they afraid. And I tell him
Did he ever try and break the door or anything like that?
Yes, he is still knock and he say I will stay here until evening if you don't open the door because you are liar.
Okay. Very good. There's a chance the sergeant might want to talk to you, so thank you very much. Okay. Good. Thanks, Dee.
Appreciate your hard work. Thank you. You have a driver's license?
The complainant essentially admits to the Columbus officers that she refused to open the door for Agent Burke despite the fact that she was informed that he was a federal officer. In general, citizens are under no obligation to open their doors to members of law enforcement without a warrant, and this remains true in this situation. Although Agent Burke was at the home to retrieve a shotgun from a citizen who was not legally allowed to own a firearm, it is likely that a court would conclude that the citizen did not have to open the door or surrender the firearm if Agent Burke did not have a warrant. In the 1958 case of Jones versus United States, the Supreme Court explained that, quote, "It is settled doctrine that probable cause for belief that certain articles subject to seizure are in a dwelling cannot of itself justify a search without a warrant. Were federal officers free to search without a warrant merely upon probable cause to believe that certain articles were within a home, the provisions of the Fourth Amendment would become empty phrases, and the protection it affords largely nullified." Similarly, in the 1980 case of Payton versus New York, the Supreme Court stated that, quote, "It is a basic principle of Fourth Amendment law that searches and seizures inside a home without a warrant are presumptively unreasonable. Absent exigent circumstances, a warrantless entry to search for weapons or contraband is unconstitutional, even when a felony has been committed and there is probable cause to believe that incriminating evidence will be found within. While it is certainly possible that in some situations exigent circumstances to enter a home and seize an illegal firearm without a warrant may exist, there did not appear to be any such emergency in this situation. Assuming that Agent Burke was not executing a warrant, the complainant was most likely within her rights to refuse to answer the door for Agent Burke.
What's he got?
Body armor.
Hey, there's a chance he may even be legit. Who knows?
So, but she said that he grabbed the handle and tried to push it open.
Yeah. They said it. We put it as an 8 that he's trying to break in.
Well, no,
that's why I thought he's working the
forcibly
58 by
grabbed the
himself.
channel.
Yeah.
After holding Agent Burke for about an hour, the officers released him without charges. On December 4th, 2020, Agent Burke filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Columbus, Officer Fahey, and Officer Winchell, alleging that, among other violations, Officers Fahey and Winchell used excessive force during the incident. According to the complaint, Agent Burke was transferred to an administrative support role within ATF after the incident because of the injuries he suffered. As of the date of this episode, the lawsuit is still pending. Overall, Agent Burke gets a C- because although he was likely acting within his lawful authority when the Columbus officers arrived on the scene, he refused to obey what were likely lawful orders from the officers, physically and verbally resisted the officers, and maintained an unprofessional and condescending demeanor throughout the encounter. While it is clear from the video footage that Agent Burke informed the Columbus officers that he was a federal agent on multiple occasions, that statement alone does not override the officers' authority to order him to the ground until they can secure the scene. Agent Burke was armed at the time of the encounter, and it could certainly be argued that the Columbus officers just wanted to disarm him in case he was, in fact, pretending to be a federal agent. If Agent Burke had politely complied with the orders of the officers, instead of blatantly refusing to get on the ground, then this interaction may have had a much different outcome. All that said, there is no denying that at least some degree of negligence took place from the Columbus officers' conduct, but Agent Burke may have had a much stronger case against them if he had been more willing to cooperate with their commands. I commend the agent for following up this interaction with the proper legal actions, but I would caution him to consider the notion that federal law enforcement authorities authority does not trump state law enforcement authority in future encounters. The Columbus officers get an F for approaching the scene with their weapons drawn despite no immediate threat being present, neglecting to consider the facts of the encounter in an effort to gain control of the situation, and for failing to conduct a legitimate investigation into Agent Burke's identity before deciding to place him under arrest. Although the legality of the Columbus officers' commands is difficult to question, the logic behind issuing those commands is even more difficult to understand. Agent Burke's lawsuit against the officers claims that the woman who called the Columbus officers to the scene provided dispatch with the agent's name and badge number, and given that Agent Burke wasn't making any threatening gestures or statements when the officers arrived on the scene, it's extremely tough to comprehend why the officers responded to the call by immediately shouting commands with their weapons drawn. The Columbus officers also refused to allow Agent Burke to provide his credentials to them on multiple occasions, and seemed to display a complete disregard for the fact that Agent Burke was an ATF agent. As mentioned before, there is an argument to be made that the Columbus officers were within their authority to secure Agent Burke's firearm before investigating further. However, no practical threat existed when the officers arrived on the scene, and at no point did Agent Burke do anything to suggest that he was anything less than a federal agent attempting to carry out his duties. If the Columbus officers had merely taken the time to figure out what was going on before deciding to resort to physical force, then this interaction would likely have had a much more positive outcome. This encounter highlights the importance of de-escalation and investigation, and it will certainly be interesting to see how Agent Burke's lawsuit fares in the courtroom. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my second channel for even more police interaction content.